right then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some fun in between our two semi-finals, that's right. I've got this fella. Hiya, Slacks.
How you doing, everybody?
We're gonna do some cosplay. We're gonna do a cosplay competition. We've had plenty of submissions, and I've got a magical list here where we get to see them all one by one.
Cosplay competition, Alex. You're an expert at Counter-Strike Go cosplays, right? It's huge over there.
Yeah, man, you got like the CTs and the
Yeah,
Ts.
you know, you got flashbangs, you got the chicken, you got Control Point A. It's
Control
crazy.
Point? It's got TF2.
Yeah, I don't watch that stupid game.
That sounded so scripted though. We just had like a whole back and forth. Like I'll say TF2. You
Oh.
say. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're going to be getting into this one now. Slacks, you weren't allowed to judge at all, but you are allowed to.
What?
As in, they were like, we need judges. You weren't scratched off the list immediately.
Unfair, but
Yeah.
okay, sure.
So anyway, I'm going to be introducing them one by one, and I apologize if I butchered the names because we were trying backstage and it wasn't the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, the names of the girls or the heroes?
Probably both, if I'm honest.
Sounds good.
All right, so coming up first then, we have Ninjasmine and Dark Willow.
All right, Alex, let's take a look at this Dark
Welcome
Willow
them to the
cosplay.
stage. It's scary. Walking out in front of you, I can attest it is a scary experience.
Bring out that Dark Willow, please.
Ninjasmine, are you back there?
Hello, Dark Willow. Oh, is she in the other dimension? Is she, oh, the lore? Oh, she's coming out. Don't worry about it. Dark Willow is a tricky
Come
one.
on out.
She's a sneaky one, Alex. That's part of her lore, her character. Here she comes. Oh, my goodness. Dark Willow herself, Alex. Look at those thorns.
My
Looking fantastic. How do you make that hair? It's amazing. She even got Jax. Even Jax made it today, Alex.
Beautiful.
Beautiful stuff there. Thank you, Dark Willow. Incredible stuff.
Lovely,
oh, wow. The
lovely
wing
stuff.
coming out there, fixing it up. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Up next, Selena with Lena, rather appropriately.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the double Lena. We got the Selena Lena.
Selena Lena.
Here she comes. She's got the fiery balls. She's got the dragon set, the tail. My God, Alex.
My God.
This is hot, hot, hot in all the right ways.
I just find the horns are so, I don't know how people do it. Papier-mâché?
Yes.
I'm not really an expert.
Absolutely, papier-mâché. Thank you.
What do you call it in America?
That's exactly what you called it. Thank you.
Papier-mâché. Anyway, up next, Lola with Queen of Pain.
The Queen of Pain. A classic cosplay. And here we go. Looking absolutely fantastic.
Round of
Welcome to
applause.
the stage. Woo! Great emphasis on the tail, the wings, everything is looking fantastic. Woo!
Queenie.
Queen of Pain. Empress of my heart.
Yeah?
Sure.
She's your favorite, Queen of Pain? Play her all the time?
Always second to Crystal Maiden.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, we have a cosplay expert on stage.
That
right
is
here.
true.
Plenty of them, in fact. Up next, though, we do have, let's get this right, Virtualoid with Crystal Maiden.
Oh, yes.
There you go, one for you.
Show me that CM. Oh, and here she comes, even with the Yule Scepter cosmetic item, Alex. Look at the attention to detail. The boots, the Yules, the cape, Alex.
I think you're learning a thing or two about your Crystal Maiden here.
I am. I have been outclassed completely. She is much better looking than I am. Thank you, Crystal Maiden.
Up next, Duskrin, Templar Assassin.
Oh, the hidden ones. Launch the Templar to us, and the secret is out, because it's a fantastic cosplay, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
That is Templar Assassin. Look at that body paint. Look at that sneaky exterior.
Sneaky.
She is a sneak, but we found her today, Alex.
Yeah, hiding in plain sight. Up next, this is going to be a hard one to pronounce. Let me get this right. Tanakt with Sven.
Show me the Sven.
Oh my.
Oh my
God.
God, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Woo! That is the greatest cleavage I have ever seen. Look at that.
It's huge. I'm going to get out of the way.
Look at that Sven. He is huge.
Are you like 9 foot tall? My goodness. Okay, so that's Sven. Up next, we have, do you want to try this one?
Yes. Black Hydrus.
Black Hydrus.
Black Hydrus as your Mirana. Show me the
Mirana.
Oh my goodness, there we go with the snow set coming out. Fantastic work on that bow. It looks amazing. Very
Incredible.
nice stuff. She looks warm.
Not too warm. I mean, I guess it's raining outside, got the hood up, all prepared.
It's a normal English outfit.
Take a bow. See what I said there? Take a bow.
Take a bow. Read the next one.
Yeah, okay. Rehab with Luna.
Luna!
Welcome her to the stage.
Oh, here comes the Luna. Ladies and in the woods. Luna comes out onto the stage. Look at those glaives. Look at the shield, Alex.
Is that her real hair? Look at that.
That is her, that might be her
I mean,
real
I don't really
hair.
know how wigs work, but
That is, well, you know, I should learn how wigs work. I still don't know, as you can tell.
I was thinking about going for a pastel pink next week. I
I
don't
was
know.
thinking anything.
Yeah. So we've got Susie up next. Crystal Maiden, another one for you.
Another Crystal Maiden, bring out the Crystal Maiden! She's got a big smile. I felt the real CM there. Look at that flowing cape.
It's so silky.
So silky, so soft, but so strong.
Strong.
So strong. Thank you, CM.
And please, last but by no means least, we have Maya, Queen of Pain.
Bring me out the Queen of Pain. Ladies and gentlemen, another Queen of Pain for you.
Now that's a wingspan.
We got a big wingspan here. We got red eye contacts. Whew. Queen brings a lot of pain, but that brings me a lot of pleasure. Fantastic cosplay with that. Looking great.
And this is where we announce your top three. I'll go, of course, 3 to 1.
Oh.
And so, a little drum roll, please. Can we have an okay, that was actually really bad. I'm actually really...
One more time. Come on, these guys
Give
spent
me
a lot of time. Give it up for all of our cosplay.
In third place, it is none other than Ninjasmine Dark Willow.
Dark Willow, come to the stage, Dark Willow.
Congratulations.
Well done, well done. Don't worry.
Take a bow.
A tricky Dark Willow. Thank you so much.
And in second place, we have... Guys, you know the drill. Come on. Oh, it's Rehab Luna.
Luna, coming up to the stage.
Congratulations. And
Interesting.
in first place. Do you reckon first place is on this side? This side? Oh, I think you think you've got it worked out. You think you've got it in first place. One more time. It's Connect with Sven. Fantastic. Can you give us a swing of that sword?
Oh, carefully.
Take space, everybody. Move
Everyone
back.
back up.
I think he's doing the idle animation. He's doing it all. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Just so you know, these were chosen by experienced cosplayers and they were judged on accuracy, quality, and complexity. One final round of applause for all of your contestants, please. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. You're all wonderful. We're going to go ahead and keep this show rolling. Thank you, Slacks. Thank you to everyone. And of course, we'll see you for the next game.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Congratulations to all of our cosplayers, fantastic as ever, brilliant performance by all of them, and justice for the winner. Sometimes these things get a bit controversial. We're going to get into our pre-match now for our second semi-final of the day, and two teams trying to make their way to the grand final for differing reasons, but also similar reasons. Both want those DPC points, and they both want to qualify automatically for the international. In order to do that, OpTic need to win this tournament. That's a tall order with Virtus Pro already in the final. And Fnatic, they just need to win this best of 3 to get enough points to move inside the top 8. Still one more tournament to go, of course, at the Super Major as well. As you've seen, we've swapped things up on our panel. We welcome back Nahaz and Fogged alongside Cap. How you doing, gents?
Doing great.
You're good?
Yeah,
All
I'm
ready
glad.
for the semi?
Yeah, ready
Yeah?
to go, and I think you're pretty glad having me here. I've been watching you on the desk, and everybody else has just like that, just a little bit of that hype, but now we're even. Now we're good to go.
Well, we don't need to get you a box this time like the Dream League Fog. It's all right.
I probably still need one anyway, but...
It's all right, buddy. I've still
Yeah, he's
plenty,
like,
plenty of those banana
Are you
boxes.
trying to
in my
say
time.
you're the same height as Paul? Because
Yeah,
it's close.
It's close.
He's got some heels on.
I'm the
come
stats guy.
on.
We can round up, all right?
All right, let's kick things off with Fnatic, Alan. How have they impressed you throughout this tournament?
I really like that Fnatic has been doing in this tournament with AUI taking over the coaching role what I've wanted to see them do. I've told Jackie this a half dozen different times. Just go hit towers. If Fnatic, it is no accident that they feel like so much more of a dangerous team than when they're behind, because when they're behind, they feel like they need to go threaten objectives. When they're ahead, they have the tendency to just go farm their next item. Yesterday, especially in the deciding game against OG, it was a chaotic game. Things were going wrong. Fnatic said, you know what? We just are going to push on the other side of the map and threaten objectives. That, to me, is Dota right now.
We're just seeing highlights of the first game, the very first game of this tournament. Where we were treated to a base race with Megas and Rapier. I was like, well, if this is how it's going to be, I'm already in. It didn't quite get more exciting than that from Fnatic, and this is the two sides of it, Cap, isn't it, for them? They are like that. They can be very explosive, very exciting, kind of unpredictable. But as Alan's pointed out, they need to be more methodical, and we saw that yesterday.
We can see a lot of one-sided games, and I'm trying to think, like, which is more likely to be one-sided? The Fnatic, when they win because they draw the game out very slowly and they have this hard carry that eventually takes over the game, or is it the more one-sided games where they lose because they get simply run over because they have something like a Spectre that can't actually fight early on and they just lose to a lineup like a VP Pain sort of strategy where they just kind of run at you and have a lot of team fight and lane control. So it's definitely Fnatic have a very certified style, but it's not the only style that they run, like in that second game against OG.
I've been liking that they've been going back to more of the Universe Darks here, and at least the last 4 games for me, they're not touching the Viper.
Yeah.
I really don't want to be seen playing those heroes. I want to be seeing, you say it all the time at these tournaments, put Abed on either that game winner or put Envy on one of those like super hard carry game winners, like be it the Morphling or the Chaos Knight that we saw yesterday. I think that's a very good key for success, and when they can enable DJ with Universe. I think when they do those dual lanes with those two, they're on fire.
Yeah, obviously we've pointed out several times throughout this tournament how important Abed is to that team. Describe in your words how you feel he's played throughout the tournament. Has he been consistent enough? Has he been the point man for Fnatic?
Yeah, I do think so. I think he's been playing it really well. Sometimes he's maybe the hero that can't actually do it. Like I think in one of the games, I think it was the Ember Spirit, right? That one where he really struggled on. But for the most part, yeah, he's been on fire.
Yeah,
he gets a lot of help. DJ usually makes him look a lot better too.
That's kind of been their hole in the drafting in this tournament, that they've had a tendency to either put in the loss of their CCVP, they put Abed on Viper and Razor, and then later on they put him on an Ember Spirit yesterday where he just was in a position where he just got ganked and died. And they need to make sure that they facilitate him getting that mid-game farm that he needs to sustain pressure. But again, I said this yesterday and I really believe it. You talk about Fnatic drafting, you talk about Fnatic playing. 3 most important factors, DJ, DJ, and DJ. You got to get this man on a hero that he can control the game with.
Okay, Cap, wider picture stuff. They're one series away now from moving inside the top 8. It's still not guaranteed with the Super Major featuring a number of teams just on that bubble as well. So not guaranteed a place at TI, but they just need one best of 3 and they move inside the top 8. OpTic, on the other hand, need to win and win again. Is that more or less pressure for Fnatic? I mean, we heard Universe say he doesn't even care. He's just focused on the major. But
So when I used that example, right, I talked about OpTic because I felt like it was enough of a stretch, like, okay, we have to go into the finals, we're probably going to be facing VP. Like, that just seems like an insurmountable challenge.
Right.
I think it is more likely to play on Fnatic's mind because it is such a simple, like, we just have to win this one series, and then we're good. But I don't know. It's a tough opponent. Like, I'm actually favoring OpTic a little bit more. So Fnatic, they should not let them rattle them. They really need to make sure they have strong laning phase. I think that's something that they try to put an emphasis on due to the Undying picks. I think is their pickup of like, guys, we really need strong lanes because we usually have this weird 15 to 25 minute window where we are down one person that can't really interact. Usually it's going to be an Eternal Envy's carry that needs to still continue to farm.
All right, we're gonna move on and talk about OpTic. Alan, it feels like we haven't seen them for ages, and we kind of haven't. They played one best of 1 on day 2 because they were so good on day 1. How is that break going to affect them?
I don't think it's going to affect them that much. I mean, obviously you do have some younger players on that team, but you have a veteran captain in PPD that guided a team through the international. I think he's going to have them ready to play. The big thing is, how are they going to come out and look today? Because I was very encouraged by the results in the tournament. When they won the Star Ladder Minor, they were drafting and playing around 33, and we really haven't seen 33 be that trump card for them yet at this event. I think they feel like a team to me that still has a trick or two in their back pocket.
I think when you give Peter more time for preparation, it's always going to be a better thing, right? He's always going to be watching all these games. This guy, he does his homework.
Yeah, can we say that like the supports, Peter and Side, they've been performing
Yes.
so good at this
Super
tournament.
well.
Like I think there's not too many times where, especially a Western 5 position outside of like solo, I think solo's the one 5 position that always stands out. But most of the time you're not like, oh, what a great performance from that hard 5 position
In the West
Western
especially,
sure,
yes.
right?
It's true.
But Peter is like, he's had some really amazing Bane performance.
I mean,
Bane's performance, even his Undying in a couple of those situations, they're picking some heroes that maybe people aren't so comfortable with or that aren't really that highly regarded. So I'm playing like Rubik a couple situations too, and they're making it work.
You made a point
Impressive.
to me off camera, Cap, that I think is really relevant in this discussion, in that a few teams have started to understand that that double melee aggro dual lane is not always the way to go. And I feel like part of the efficacy you've seen from PPD on heroes like Bane in this tournament is that he'll pick a tanky ranged offlaner and run sort of those combos that punishes the safe lane in slightly different ways.
Undying is exactly the same thing, right? Like if they're going to be running some sort of like safe lane gyrocopter, they're going to run Undying. All these aggro dual lanes that are trying to be run now, they run into an Undying in lane, they're not going to have that easy win they're
No,
expecting.
definitely not. You're always going to get hit by double decays in those situations
Yeah.
too. It's like impossible to avoid.
Yeah, and you've got this frontliner you can't really go on, it just sucks.
One final guy I want to talk about and bring up is, I would call him Mr. Consistency in OpTic, and that's Pycat. This guy, you know, not lauded that much. He finally won himself a good tournament. No one really talks about him in the terms of star player or star power. Yeah, I don't remember the last time any of you said, oh, that Pycat's had a terrible game in this game. I don't remember the last time. It's just never been said on a panel. He seems to be ultra consistent, and now even stepping up to that star level.
Paul, I will agree with you on talking about Pycat and how we don't usually talk about him before this year. But boy, this year, I feel like we're only talking about Pycat until 33 joined the roster. That guy was carrying them. When OpTic was at its worst, Pycat seemed to be at his best, and he hasn't really slouched much now that 33's joined the roster. It feels like we've got two very solid rocks. Again, we keep talking about 33 because of the hero pool that's added in and the star performances that come from him. We've seen it in their win at Star Ladder, but Pycat is still going to be that person who just never seems to do wrong.
But
Pure,
see, I really like
pure
that
stability,
aspect.
honestly.
I
Never seen
like that
feat.
aspect of him. He's think about the great teams, right? Are we really, when we talk about LGD, are we talking about Ame that much? Liquid, are we talking about Matumbaman? A lot of these great teams, the carry isn't necessarily the headliner. He's just a steady presence that's going to use those resources efficiently and win the team the game.
When Newbie was doing well, we wouldn't really talk about Moogie so much
Yeah,
either. I think that's
exactly.
another good example, right? I felt like mostly he was a very stable carry, kind of similar to Pycat here. Though I feel like Pycat does have a more aggressive playmaking style than some of the others.
Great.
I feel like maybe sometimes we're all just support people up on the panels usually too, so we just love our support players.
There is a strong 4-5 mixture here on the panel. We're going to head to a very quick break. When we come back, though, we will have our teams inside the arena, so the UK crowd can go absolutely crazy yet again. We'll see you in a few.
I do. I want to get in there.
Wow, I'm not dead.
Are you dead?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Never, dude.
Dude, look at that macro pyre, dude. Oh my god.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Life is all about following a few simple rules. Dress proper. Get a real job. Start a family. Be humble. Time to grow up.
everything.
The Hurricane Pike Rupture! Absolute destruction coming out from Liquid. Solo, beautiful feed script onto Mugi. Rampage for no one. GG is called.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
ESL One Birmingham is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, Alienware, DHL, and Pay Safeguard.
I think we're pretty fine playing Fnatic.
OpTic pretty bland. I'm not sure, I don't know much about it. Congrats on the Starlighter Minor.
We're just looking to play clean Dota, not to be sloppy and play a nice game.
They're probably the easiest semi-final opponent.
No secret strats or anything, I don't think. If we do, I wouldn't say.
I think they have more annoying heroes, especially in lane. It might be really hard, but the later the game drags on, we're gonna have a bigger chance of winning.
We have some good drafts once in a while, and we kind of know how to play our game.
I expect some Visages, maybe a Broodmother will show up. We have to be ready for that. Maybe we have something too, but they have to get ready for it.
I mean, I think we have a decent shot at making it to the grand finals or, winning the tournament, which is obviously what we're shooting for. If we win the tournament, we'll most likely get an invite to TI.
It'd be nice to come in second or first, so we have a chance of qualifying directly.
We're looking to make all fans proud. #GreenWall.
It's pretty cool. Like, it's a good crowd. It's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
I like most of the guys in that team. Wish them luck, I guess. Not as much luck as I wish myself.
Best of luck. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again where I just say something and I make you say loud words. I'd like to have you and your full attention because it's happening again. Virtus Pro are looking vicious and already comfortable in that grand final. They're looking for an opponent. They're looking to feel some resistance. They've graced through the competition so far, and these next two candidates are looking to do just that. Do we have any OpTic gaming fans in the house? Okay, and how about Fnatic? Aha, there you are. Okay, clear bit of a crowd favorite, gonna be stepping onto the stage first. They are one best of three, one game of Dota. They've played thousands of games of Dota. This one potentially locks them in to the international. Life-changing money, gonna be within arm's reach if they win this best of three. It's that ridiculous. That's how important this game of Dota is. So please, without further ado, make them feel welcome here in Birmingham. It's Fnatic. A very humble universe said, if we win, it's because we deserve it, and vice versa, and that is his stance on this situation. And rather quite different on the other side of things, a rather confident and rather exciting OpTic Gaming now waiting in the wings. So let's do it one more time. Raise the roof, OpTic Gaming! The stage is set. Two terrifying combinations of faces old and new in competitive Dota. It's about to go down. Our second semi-final is about to commence. First, though, we'll check in with Toby and Pyrian.
Yes, we are your serious analysts up here in the rafters.
To provide top level, very high level, very professional Dota analysis.
The panel will never be able to achieve.
That's why they put us up here, Topes.
Yeah.
We're so far above.
Where the air is crisp. Where the air is crisp.
Yep, and all the heat and the, dare I say it, the smell of the arena rises up and festers in a giant, no, carry on, sorry.
You smell fine, Birmingham. Don't worry about it. Everyone washed because they follow the Reddit threads, right? Yeah, everyone washed. Well done, Birmingham. Smell like flowers. Let's talk about our game.
Sure.
We have a decent one coming up.
Yep.
It's a semi-final.
It is.
Players that we want to look at, one per team. We only get one.
Okay. Do you want me to pick one and you'll pick the other?
Okay, I'm going to go with Fnatic to start with.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the man that's flashy. I'm going to go with the man that it really feels like he's the one that dictates the tempo of everything that happens.
Okay, yeah.
Abed.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Him for me, like, he has been playing absolutely superbly throughout this tournament and leading up to it. Like, he's the critical one to watch.
Phenomenal player, I absolutely agree. However, I'm going to go the other way.
Okay.
I'm going to choose Pycat as the other guy to look at. And I think it's important to think of the experience that these quiet lads have. PPD as well, of course, has a lot of experience. Less quiet, I'd say. But
Yep.
Pycat is like this quietly steady, experienced, stable guy and a lovely lad.
Yeah, he's one of these players too. I think has also stepped up a lot in the last couple of months. Where you're like, man, he's become so much like better skill than what he previously was, and he has experience and more confidence. Played in China for a very long time.
Yep.
So Pycat, yeah, the quiet achiever, I want to say.
Maybe
as opposed to
the
Abed.
team gets the best out of him. Sometimes we talk about this a lot, about a player is really good. Like, why didn't Rezo work? You know, it's like with OG, this is like, you just need to have a good fit. And maybe he's a great fit for the team, apparently so. Yeah, they are in the semi-final, Tobes.
You've got team together, we can do it, guys. Fnatic and PPD is like, well, we're already done it, we just have to claim the prize.
Yeah, that's very, that's PPD.
This is the matchup that I'm looking for. So hopefully everyone is ready to rock and roll for that one, because I cannot wait to get into this game. Give me a winner, give me good Dota, give me a close game.
We'll do our very best down here. Yes, thank you very much, Toby. Imperium Flax there. Well, where do we go from here? We go to the draft. That's where we go.
I don't know, Paul. It's pretty hard to beat that very
how do you
high
follow
level
Flax?
of
I understand.
awkwardness.
I understand.
Excuse me? Pycat's a good lad. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. That's a good little tidbit that I'm not sure if we'd be able to bring forward. He's a good lad.
Well, you guys, if you could just try your best to step up to Pyrian's level and help me through the draft, that would be great. Alan, I want to start with two particular heroes: the Sand King and the Sorry, everyone, the Dragon Knight. Because it's boring, Alan. Just go along with it. These are the two most picked that are probably like to be battlefields, if you like, in these heroes. Which one's going to pick Sand King? Are they going to ban it? Are they going to pick it? Are they going to give it away? And Dragon Knight's very similar for both teams. So both very popular heroes for both teams.
So the Sand King is particularly key in that equation. Fnatic, since 7.10, are 15-2 with DJ on Sand King. The other hero, of course, of his being Tusk, that has fallen off a little bit more lately. I think that's a very key hero for them to lock down early in the draft. They've gone to it to reverse their fortunes in both of the series after they've lost a game here in this tournament. I think the Dragon Knight is a hero that's going to come in for both sides. I think having Abed on Dragon Knight, it's a little better than a Razor or Viper because it scales a little differently, gives them a little bit more of that late game sort of threat, but still gives them a way to hit towers in the mid game. The best game Fnatic has played in this tournament was yesterday. Abed's Dragon Knight was hitting a tier 2 tower at 15 minutes.
We brought both heroes. I'm fine with them, but I'm also going to bring in another one, especially for Fnatic, is in particular the Darkseer.
Yes.
So those two, I think Sand King and Dragon Knight more so, let's say, for Fnatic. More so shared between the two teams, but the Darkseer, I think this is one that I'm pretty sure PPD's just going to ban it.
Ban it or pick it?
PPD?
Oh, PPD, yes, sorry.
I think he's going to ban it. I think that's going to be the biggest one to look at.
Why do you think what is it about the Darkseer that makes it so important for Fnatic?
I think it enables too many options. It enables DJ to farm heavier. He can pressure more lanes because they're just going to be throwing Ion Shells. He's able to gank multiple lanes, and it's always going to get Universe to be super farmed without being at risk of showing himself constantly on the map. He's always just pushing lanes in with those Ion Shells, and that enables them to be playing faster because then they're getting more information off the map constantly. Someone has to respond to this constant Ion Shell wave that's being pushed in.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like, from a laning phase sense, you look at this and it's like, oh, Darkseer +1, that's really dangerous. We could die a lot in that lane. And if they pick something that's a little bit too defensive, maybe they pick like a Warlock plus some sort of range hero or something like that, like, then they don't really have to run that aggro, right? They could just put the Darkseer there. He's going to be fine by himself, and he could just shove in waves constantly. That gives a lot of movement to our 4 position at that point. I think it operates as a dual threat in that you're not really quite sure what you're going to be handling when it comes to the laning phase.
Yeah. So the other hero that I think I was thinking about, I think depending on first pick, I think the Bane or the IO, I'm not going to talk about IO, but Bane is probably like the first pick for both the teams, but then Warlock, Darkseer, Sand King. Those are my top 3 to get rid of versus Fnatic, just because of how consistent they are on them.
Yeah, the Warlock, I think we've seen, the Warlock is the only 5 position that I feel like is in that 1-2 category for Fnatic, right? They have a bunch of other 5 positions like this Undying, but you're just like so unlikely to be seeing that ban in the first few picks and bans that you can go ahead and wait. And then I think that's why Fnatic are so often opening with their 3-4 because they feel like there are less 4 positions in the pool for them to be successful with.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly, you're going to see the Warlock ban here. It functions almost the same as an Undying. It stabilizes your safe lane. To me, though, when we talk about these games, it's going to be tempo control that is the key. We've talked at length about the fact that Fnatic has the highest average match duration since 7.10, over 40 minutes. OpTic is 41 and 18 in the same duration in games that end before 40 minutes. They are only 10 and 14 in games that go past the 40-minute mark. This is a series where Fnatic needs to keep pressure on, but I do think they're going to try and play some late-game Dota.
And draft some late-game heroes.
Look at that.
Wow, look at that.
As well.
OpTic takes the... Okay.
I think that's absolutely the right thing to do. They want to attack that safe lane of Fnatic.
They can also get the Bane for themselves, right?
Yeah, they'll have the first pick.
And I think the Bane's been very contested. I mean, I've been seeing more Banes, and I'm just like, this hero actually looks so strong in these dual lanes.
They ran the Bane, did OpTic the other day, in an aggro dual lane with a Darkseer.
Yes.
And it really caught the opponent off guard. I believe that was, that was the Mineski series. All right. Okay, figures.
All right, well, we got something right.
Yeah. There are like so many cores left open that you want to be able to snatch up whatever remaining supports there are.
This is so smart by OpTic. They're taking away the DJ Sand King, picking the DJ Clockwork. Yeah. Fnatic is like, they're inviting the DJ Tusk right now.
And it said it's going to be the Elder Titan, and I was going to say the Shadow Demon, for me, is the only other 5 position that you're willing to pick up, because you're so dependent on trying to win these lanes for Eternal Envy that none of these other 5 positions, I think, in the game can do that for you. Yeah. I mean, I think about some of the other heroes the other teams have run, like the OG Phoenix or something like that. I don't think any of these heroes really compare to the Undying, the Shadow Demon spamming out these Shadow Poison. Like, it's all about that level 1 pressure you're able to obtain.
And here's what's really interesting to me is that OG, in the last game we saw yesterday, OG opened first phase Leshrac, and this was the reply of Fnatic, was to pick the Elder Titan Shadow Demon duo with their 2nd and 3rd selections in the draft. I think they like this matchup against Lesh just fine.
I think for me, it's like Fnatic were more focused on being able to win their own game in that situation. I think it's still good versus Leshrac, relatively speaking. You can, like the Purge against the Yule Scepter.
Yeah, the Purge is always incredible.
So it makes it less likely we're going to be seeing a core Leshrac, but we'll see.
So about these pressure lanes, right? We just saw Leshrac Clockwork from VP, and we saw what Roger and Ramses were able to achieve with that game, and it was pretty ridiculous, the pressure that you can actually put out with these two. The kill, I mean, level 2, on Leshrac and Clockwork, I actually was sitting back there and I was trying to think of heroes that have the same kill threat at level 2 as these two combined, but it is absurd. I mean, Clockwork has always been listed as that one, but you put him in combination with Lesh gives you that extra damage, that extra chase down.
Also, we're knowing that OpTic has run Leshrac in 3 different roles: PyCat, PPD, CCNC, and Zai. So, very flexible pick in their hands.
And same with the Clockwork, right? They can run in 3 or 4 positions, so. It feels like we know what Fnatic's going to be doing in the draft, and I do think that's why I give OpTic a little bit of edge, because I feel like Fnatic are a little bit more played out. OpTic, they disguise their draft a lot more, and they still have, like, maybe we know there's going to be some sort of, switcheroo, and there's going to be a Broodmother or Visage, but it's not the same as Fnatic, who have hard to find strategy and how they, there's a certain range of heroes they're going to be picking over and over again.
Why do you think that came up in the interviews pre-game, by the way? The fact that they were kind of expecting a Brood and...
Well, I think they saw what 33 did with it at Starlighter. I mean, he just absolutely ruined a couple of games. We're talking, he had 2 games against, I believe it was VGJ Thunder was one of them, that he won in 21 minutes. It was just disgusting.
I mean, this 33 is one of those players where you're in a game, it's 4th or 5th pick, and if he says, I want X, you pick it. You don't hesitate. You're like, this guy knows his matchups. He knows when he wants to play those certain heroes. So I think that is particularly why.
And part of it is that OpTic will always have these heroes like the Leshrac, like the Dragon Knight, that they can shove over into the side lanes to clear the way for that. Because 33, those sort of gotcha heroes 5th, he usually plays them mid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Like, OpTic has been very open to variety. Because I mean, I didn't get to see this game actually the other day, but PyCat was playing the Night Stalker.
Yes.
They are very open to just changing things up at last minute, however it seems to fit into the draft.
There's no wonder there's so much confusion between them and OG.
So I think 2 of the more dangerous, harder carries to give to Fnatic, one would be the Spectre, the other is the Morphling. In my mind, I think you have more threatening power against the Morphling because you're a Leshrac pickup. In the laning phase, that is just a terror against the Morph. Spectre is a lot more durable in that regard, and he uses the space that Shadow Demon creates in those first couple of levels.
So assuming you do get one of those 2 really hard carry picks for Envy, Where do you think the supports go? Do you think it's an Elder Titan aggro or Elder Titan to stabilize the safe lane that we've seen from LGD?
I think you have to know what OpTic is going to be running first.
You have to see the lanes, but I think more than likely, I guess I could say Pilot will be playing the Shadow Demon just to secure whatever lane that they feel needs to have the best time for the game overall. So if they have something like a Morphling, he'll stay in the Morphling's lane just to be that spam. Because I mean, Pi owned on Shadow Demon yesterday. I actually was super impressed. He was he almost solo. Oh no, he did solo kill a core.
He did.
Actually,
very impressive.
Good news, everyone, by the way. There's no DK in this game.
There is no DK.
Pretty surprised that Gyrocopter is still in the pool and has been a very big hero for both of these teams.
Yep. Also the second most picked here at ESL One Birmingham, behind the Dragon Knight, which is the most picked now.
As is Doom. I think OpTic's got to be looking at Doom right now.
I think the Luna looks like a better option. I think you can't look at the Gyro because the Morphling's still in the pool. So if you pick Gyro, the other team's probably going to take the Morphling, and then it's like, oh. I mean, maybe not so much for OpTic because they're versus the Shadow Demon who can do some tricks versus the Morph and stuff, but... And they have Elder Titan too, so... So maybe Fnatic could look for the Gyro, but they haven't been looking at Gyro too much, right? They've kind of been ignoring it after they lost with it.
Pick up their support here, though.
Yeah, I personally feel like Gyrocopter is actually going to start plummeting down when it comes to drafting phase.
Yeah, I feel like people are understanding these dual lanes. He's not really... When he gets pressured with these tanky dual lanes, they just get these wand charges and stuff, and they tank the barrage, they tank the missile, they sit in the creep wave.
As long as you're not dying in that lane, you're contesting his CS really well as a melee hero against relatively low damage for a carry.
Wow,
earlier
than I thought. Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of, I mean, we just came off of VP, but the aggressive glyph usage against the barrage and against the flak and stuff, it's actually pretty cool when they're diving under. So yeah, the Visage.
Yeah.
You like Visage versus Death Prophet, right?
I love Visage. The lane, DP favored, but then right after laning phase, DP actually kind of has to leave the lane because you're at the threat of dying all the time. And with Clockwork and Visage, they can move around the map. The Clockwork can actually play with the birds and get kills. And playing Shadow Demon, this is one of those heroes. It's kind of like, I mean, I won't put it as like next to Skywrath at all, but you're very squishy. You're gonna get killed by birds.
And it's not like even if the lane is favored to the Death Prophet, it's purely a CS favorite.
Yeah.
Right? You're not gonna die because you're slow. Your slow is better than his. You're exchanging movement speed, but you're gonna get more than he does.
And I like the fact that Visage is one of the only heroes that can go 1-for-1 in terms of he can punish Death Prophet if she leaves the lane just as hard as he'll get punished.
Exactly.
Right? Visage, if he gets that Helm of the Dominator before 10 minutes, he can take that DP tower, and as a DP player, you're just not used to getting your tower pressure.
I mean, as soon as 6 hits, I've seen this Visage, like OpTic in particular, do it versus the DP. The DP has to get help.
Yes.
Because you get ran at. The birds, and one person will come. We'll see level 6. OpTic, it's probably going to be like level 5.5 on this Visage, and you're going to see Clockwork or whatever X hero move to that mid lane and go for the gank setup onto that Death Prophet.
Okay.
Okay.
I felt more like, I didn't think it was a good Darkseer game. I thought maybe like a Beastmaster or something, because...
My favorite phrase from any advert ever.
No, it's not.
No, I'm just joking. I'm so tired of that phrase now. Well done. Good job.
You've got some lane problems, right? With Fnatic. Like, you have no heroes that actually kill these creeps for you. Axe does do it, but he likes to remain off-map more often because he's your big killing threat.
I think maybe they're trying to use this as like the Axe Skywrath, Axe Shadow Demon, right? They're using Battle Hunger and Shadow Poison, but Shadow Poison is slow. It's not really the same that gives you that much chase, but maybe they want it because of the high attack speed of the Visage. If they do get the call on the birds, Axe can actually do a lot of spin damage in those instances, and they wanted a form of initiation.
To go back to the Gyro, which we talked about earlier.
And now they're going to ban the Morphling.
Yep.
Yes, and I think I think OpTic has the decided upper hand in this draft right now because I don't. Is either of those potential aggro duel lanes with Axe that scary?
I don't think it's as scary, no.
I think if you're gonna draft an Axe, you better have a hero that can run at them in an aggro duel lane.
Could they still pick this guy?
Corey T.
Fnatic? Yeah. I wouldn't think that would see that. I don't see that coming.
I mean, it's been a long time, but Pasha's run core SD as well.
I think they said it in their interview though before. They were like, we want to take this game to the late game.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the stats go, you definitely do.
Do you think about...
Dazzle.
Okay.
So like, what is OpTic's aggro lane? We're still waiting on that last core offlane pickup, right? If we're going to run Visage mid.
Well, they're convinced. No, the Dazzle ban says that they're convinced Lush is a core.
Yep. But it It can't be, can it? I mean,
No, it can't.
OpTic don't usually wait until last to pick a support.
I'm just thinking about whether or not you, if you feel threatened enough to run your DP in the side lane and then pick a different mid for you.
So you do ban
it's
them
an
off?
option.
Yeah,
You have to.
If you pick Gyro, yeah.
And if you're versus like Shadow Demon too, it's like Shadow Demon Morph and ET. We saw the exact combo too. Like Shadow Demon, ET, that amplification from Soulcatcher, and that when you get E-Blade, everyone just dies in one hit once you get that timing.
Yeah. If MV thought that was going to squeak through, then you'll have to think of something else.
It was clever, right? OpTic waited. They fourth picked the Gyro, and then they have a ban right afterwards. So.
Hard to believe. I think you run Zai support Lexrak and you pick like a Doom or Darkseer. Straight up.
More friendly to the Doom right now. I'd be also okay with Beast.
DM's alright.
I was thinking Beast as well. I couldn't hear what you said.
Wow, and it is going to be Core Leshrac, Fnatic.
Okay.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a very unusual draft from OpTic.
Tusk, really good versus Elder Titan. Yeah. You can always, the combo, if you're in a good position or when you get your Blink Dagger, you can stop that.
Yeah.
You have BKB canceller now.
Yeah. As long as Tusk can play back, he can the AoE save here against the ET, against the Axe.
Yeah.
And I really liked Luna for Fnatic, but if it's Core Leshrac, I think it's harder to be able to do so.
Yeah. I was thinking Luna in the earlier stages in the draft as well.
Maybe
I like
what's
Luna
left?
a lot,
Lycan has really good safe lane potential. He runs a Gyro.
I haven't been seeing that hero do well.
It's banned.
That's banned anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
True that.
What about the... you've got some AoE problems, but Chaos Knight?
Yeah, CK they showed yesterday. PL, all right.
Ooh.
PL against a Core Leshrac?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Core Clockwork instead. They think it's like Core Clock and then support Lesh behind it.
I think so,
because
there's
Tusk is with the Gyro at top lane.
They don't have
double
great
melee's
disablers.
awkward.
They don't have great lockdown for this PL if he gets online.
It is an okay PL game as long as the Leshrac isn't core, which I don't think I think that Lesh is support.
All right. It's a bit of a messy draft, and we still don't know exactly where the lanes are going to be and who's going to be playing what. But Alan, which way?
I'm going to go OpTic in this one. I just think they have the way more stable lanes.
Okay, Fogged.
Oh, I kind of do like this PL last pick. I don't know who's playing what. I'm going to go with Fnatic this time. I think this PL, I've seen what Abed, if he's playing it, can do on the hero.
Okay.
So, I want to say if it's Core Leshrac, I'll go one side. If it's not the other.
You can play that game if you want.
But I am going to go Fnatic as well.
Okay. Some indecision, I think, on the panel here as far as the predictions are concerned. But we are ready, ladies and gentlemen, for our second semi-final of the day. Fnatic versus OpTic.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second series of the day here at ESL One Birmingham, Fnatic versus OpTic Gaming. I'm OpTic, I'm going to be joined by Blitz for this one. And with this series, there's so much riding upon it in terms of the road to TI. These two teams, they're going to be bringing their best. We've seen the drafts. Anything that sticks out to you, Will, that you're excited to see and that you think is going to be very strong this game?
I think the aggro dual offlane from Fnatic using the Shadow Demon and the Axe. There's this new strat nowadays where you just load up on regen, get your spamming ability in the Shadow Poison, you just force the enemy carry out as much as you possibly can.
See, OpTic did come across there, but we spotted out the ward already down on this area from Fnatic. So they're aware of this 5-man movement. And of course, we'll see how they do decide to put them on the sea at the moment. Envy's going to be down bottom with DJ, this Death Prophet, Elder Titan combination, putting Arbed on that Phantom Lancer in the mid lane. And it is indeed, as the panel's wondering, it is of course the core Leshrac, CCNC playing it, with Zai on the support Clockwork on OpTic side.
Both sides going to get 2 runes out of this, and we've talked ad nauseum about it. This will determine most likely the TI invites, as if OpTic win this and win the next series, they will have enough points, and Fnatic conversely, they just need to win this one series. As Pylai die, Rocket.
Ooh, he's not going to make it out. The homing missile connects in time, and that will be first blood. As they're running down Pike out, he's going to let Zai take it.
He's got nowhere to go.
He has not. Poor old Pi. There we go. Look at the range there on that spanner. Zai picks up first blood.
And he's now not going to have a TP for that lane either. But he is going to give a little bit of space to Universe.
We'll see if Universe can get some of the levels under here, but they've got the creep wave carefully kept underneath the tower top. 33 taking a little bit of a punch there from DJ. And we'll see, of course, 33 in the past. His visage has looked incredibly strong, incredibly scary. They played it in a few different capacities, sometimes taking it mid, and now to this time round to that bottom aggressive dual lane.
Up at top.
Again, Universe trapped in the cogs. The homing missile, Pycat as well has got level 2. He's looking for sort of the perfect chance to get the rocket barrage out. Obviously, at the moment there's a lot of creep, so he doesn't want to use it. And now with Pi turning up as well, he has to back away. As the poison begins to stack.
This is what we were talking about. He's just going to spam this out. He's got a Mango and 2 Clarities. He does not want Pycat to touch this wave whatsoever.
I mean, how do you sort of play against this? As you said, this is going to be very annoying for OpTic.
Look at that.
Battle Hunger, Shadow Poison, you're kept right away from the creep wave.
He's 3-stack too, so he can't even show up in the lane anymore. This is going to shove the wave, and Universe should be able to just skip the next one too. Zai going to trap this in, try to slow down the creep wave.
This is going to be a very slow start in terms of CS for Pycat. He's going to have to do so underneath the tower, and obviously at the earlier point, pretty hard to do with the low base damage on the gyro, as you can see. Pycat will struggle to get these CS against this Shadow Demon lane that's having quite an effect here early on, despite Pi giving up that first blood.
Going to farm up some cogs here. Pi popping that Mango, getting ready to continue to harass as we have a quick pause and a tip to go along with it.
We can see there already. Extra 87 gold out of the 5 cogs. Those all add up. Hopefully we can sort this pause out pretty soon. Looks like the players are about ready to get back on. But I mean, as we're seeing, this top lane is having a huge effect against OpTic. They sort of just have to suck it in and just accept that the early levels up top, it's going to be tricky to deal with.
I think you have to tank it, because nowadays in Dota, you assume that the same thing is being done to the opposite lane. And it is. Envy's not having the best time in CS. The Visage is already beating him too. This bottom lane is succeeding, maybe not as hard as top is. But OpTic did grab the first blood, so I think they'll be okay with the circumstances so far. But this is what Dota's kind of come to now. You get into these 2-on-2 situations, and the safe lane is no longer really the safe lane.
No, inversely so. In fact, it certainly has ended up being, as we see, a lot of offlaners, of course, getting the chance to get that bit of a boost at the start, thanks to the fact that these dual lanes are the way that Dota is played, once again, at the moment in this current meta. Looking at the mid lane, one of the lanes we haven't really touched upon. I mean, at the moment, between these two, the PL and the Lesh, I mean, the panel sort of talked about picking the PL into the Lesh rack. Is it okay? Like, how does sort of this go, this matchup go as the game goes on? Are there certain points that become pretty hard for one another to play?
So, in the beginning of the game, it's incredibly hard for Abed to play this game, just because his illusions get cleared out so quickly. But as the game continues on, it becomes harder and harder for the Lesh to keep up in damage, especially when the PL gets a heart.
Here we go. Looks like we're getting the game back on. Issues are sorted. So we should be able to get ourselves back into this one as the game's unpaused. Getting back up to this top lane. See how Pycat can deal with this.
Universe already leading in CS. A lot of those are the cogs that Zai leaves out for him as Pylai die.
Got the level 2 now on Zai as well, so he can do a bit of harassment with the battery assault. Universe, of course, though, high HP on this strength faction bottom lane. 33 actually being chased down here by DJ and Envy.
He's low. He's got one more hit left to go.
He's in a lot of trouble, I think, and there we have. Fnatic will be able to claim the kill as they run down 33 on the bottom lane.
This is excellent for Fnatic. Getting a kill on that bottom lane. The top lane, we've already talked about how well it's going for them so far. And this mid lane is more or less dead even.
And here we go. They're gonna look for a bit of a setup. The cogs will disrupt the chance for Universe to get the call onto Pycat. So nice little play there from Zai, making sure that Pycat doesn't get caught out by that level 3 axe.
He's got to be more careful about his positioning. Keeps getting burned out by the cogs. Is out of mana, has to pop his last clarity.
Securing very good CS, of course, for Universe. Top CS, in fact, at the moment in this game on his axe. But you say cogs, certainly some of those.
Highlight die. Trying to hide in the trees right now. Does not want to get his clarity broken. Zai.
He's looking for it, but Pi, as you say, keeping the distance. It's going to come back forward. There we go. Zai will be able to cancel that clarity. And again, another bit of mana burn from the Cogs. Really doing his best at limiting what Pielidai can do up top. Making it just that little bit safer. Mid lane, 19 for 4 on CCNC, 19 for 2 on Arbed. Pretty close between the two of them. Obviously, as you can see, though, CCNC falling very, very low, but at the same time, mana pretty low for Arbed. He's going to look for the top rim, but it is to be spawning down bottom. PPD coming across again. He's trying to make the pull on the creep. Top lane Universe. Two-man call. He drags side back again, though. Pielidai still low on mana, so no real sort of follow-up. Universe as well out. Does still have a manga. But Zai certainly doing a good job of sort of opening up the space once again for the Jara to find his farm.
Yeah, this is about as good as it gets for Pycat. Zai.
Yeah.
He's just consistently burned their regen out. And in mid lane, CCNC gonna go throughout the stun, barely whiffs. Might have been a kill. He is level 5. Would have probably been enough damage, and see DJ waiting in the wings. That's gonna prompt CCNC to just go for the shrine. And I think DJ's aware of this. He's gonna try to meet him here. He even goes for the scan.
Can he do something cute here? He's gonna try for it, looking for the stomp. He's got the stomp out, but with the Tango regen, CCNC already too much help on him for DJ to deal with at the moment. Just level 2, of course, on the Elder Titan. CCNC will be able to get himself back up to full and return to that middle lane.
OpTic, though, grabbing a lot of those bounty runes, and Zai being chased out by Universe, but already out of mana, not really going to do too much else. And we continue to have a static laning phase, just a lot of harass going on both sides.
5 minutes in, just 1-for-1 between these two teams. Really making too many huge errors. Nice little dodge there from PPD. Will dodge out the stomp. Could still be in trouble, though, as Envy gets the first siphon out. DJ, and Envy looking towards him. Envy's not interested in chasing this one down. He'll let DJ continue. PPD starting to salve up, but DJ, just with that extra bit of movement speed, will be able to cancel it. PPD still able to walk himself away as he's able to TP out to safety. Lane, Arbed again, being forced back now that the levels are there on CCNC. It's getting scarier and scarier for him to stand his ground in the 1v1.
This top lane, Pi just trying to clean up some of these creeps as Zai trying to find the angle on him. This is on the Cogs, though, and Universe now coming forward.
They can look to turn this around and chase him. Pycat's trying to head over to help out Zai. They've got the batteries on to Pi, the homing missile as well. Pi, I believe he does still have the disruption available.
He can dodge this.
So he should be fine, and indeed he does. Gets the easy dodge. And again, nobody falling despite both teams getting increasingly aggressive.
Just a really long, extended feeling out process right now. Either side not really willing to commit heroes to gank the other lane so far as PPD just gonna run into DJ. And it just feels like both teams are mirroring each other constantly.
I'm looking at sort of the CS overall as well. There's no one that's really falling far behind. I think all in all, the impressive thing being that Pycat, despite being pressured on those early levels, because of Zai's play, he's totally recovered now. He's in an absolutely fine place. 33 for 10 on his safe lane Gyrocopter. So incredibly even in this early 7 minutes of laning stage. As we can certainly expect to see it sort of the momentum start to swing one way or another once those rotations do start coming out towards the mid lane. Obviously CCNC a little bit easier potentially for Fnatic to get the gank onto rather than the other way around, with Arbed being able to doppel out of any sort of difficulties. He has got that escape mechanism. And Envy, there's the rotation. He comes up towards top, but he has been spotted out by OpTic's ward in the lane. So OpTic fully aware that Envy's come up. Let's see what they can get.
Pycat trying to hide in the trees right now. Envy has got the exorcism.
Very close to having the level 6 on Pycat as well, which could be crucial for this sort of team fight hold if Envy does decide to force it with the exorcism.
Envy's going to want to make a move soon, though. He's been up here for quite some time now. Pycat is just being so patient. He's pinging the area. Fnatic want to try to dive with this creep wave. That's why they've flipped their own creeps.
It's going to be a scan, checking behind the tree line. I do know there's extra heroes here.
They're only showing Zai right now.
They're going to enter in. Envy reveals himself, starts to chase down Zai. Immediately a TP's coming out from CCNC, looking to join the fight.
He has the ult.
He's hit 6, drops the cooldown. Pi's going to be able to dodge it there with the disruption. Universe gets hit by the homing missile. Pycat just focusing down the axe. Universe goes for the call, TP out. He should be able to make it, and he does. Universe gets himself away, and it will just be Envy going down there, thanks to CCNC coming in and being able to have the burst needed. So a very sort of costly play there for Fnatic. They spent a lot of time trying to set up with Envy in place. They ended up forcing it just a little too hard. And OpTic, they're there with the reaction, with CCNC coming in and making sure Fnatic don't get anything out of that Death Prophet movement.
Yeah, they were incredibly patient. If you saw OpTic, they just continued to bait back and forth. As I was the only person that showed there, Envy waited up there for over a minute, and they still weren't able to make something happen. And he even commits to the death there. They lost a lot of damage on that bottom tower. OpTic just continuing to play more patiently, and we're coming up on the 10-minute mark too. That's going to be when the next Siege Wagon spawns, and you'd like to see a move from OpTic.
Up top, Universe, it's been gone on again. Zai, he's level 5 on his clockwork. They've got the cogs, they've got the trap, they've got more than enough magical. That'll be Universe going down. Zai and Pycat, starting to look very scary between the two of them. These sort of kills going to get Zai closer and closer to his 6 at a very respectable timing. Those levels just going to be there that little bit faster for Zai in comparison to Fnatic supports.
And Pycat now having some free farm in this lane. Universe has to walk himself all the way over. And Zai making his way towards the mid lane. Looks like they want to try to apply some pressure on Envy. He's going to anticipate this move. They're going to go for the smoke, and it looks like they're going to go for another aggressive play.
They don't have the ghost up. No exorcism still for 50 seconds.
They can't afford to lose this engagement either. This is a lot of Envy's time.
It's a tricky one to get into as well. Where's your sort of initiation? They have to get Pi with a disruption. He's looking towards CCNC, but CCNC has already grabbed the bounty rune and he's out. OpTic, they're going to be able to get at least the two of them up here. They get the two bottom, they've got one of them bottom. I think they're going to be, they've got them all.
Yeah, the smoke's broken. They're going to lose the tower up at bot. DJ going to get gone on. Snowball.
And they get away with this. They're going in. DJ will be able to TP out, but look at the difference already. Getting these bounty runes, taking this tower down. It's 3K lead at 10 minutes in a very sort of slow-paced game. That's quite the early lead here for OpTic to have after just these sort of smart outplays, making just those slightly better movements here on the map in comparison to Fnatic.
Yeah, and I'd like to see OpTic right now swarm to the mid lane with this catapult. Bring your Visage over as well. Try to punish this top play. You know that Envy brought himself up here. He can't really TP out either. 15 seconds left on that. Does have the Ghost. But they're going to glyph, try to keep this Siege Wagon alive.
See if they can go for Arbed here. Arbed, he's level 9. Snowball's in on him, but he's got the top. Up to the high ground. He didn't make it. Try and go, but still fortunate for him. They will not be chased down. Up top, Zai finding Pilot Eye out on his own. CCNC is there as well. As OpTic get another mid lane, the tower will fall. 33 gets the last hit, so they'll get the money for it.
They didn't even manage to save their mid tower or take the top tower. They're just getting outmaneuvered so hard right now, Fnatic.
OpTic's just getting so much out on the map.
It's so rare to see that. You're able to defend your tower.
Look how low the Universe has got himself here. He's got to be careful. He's going to put the Battle Hunger, but Zai's already closed the gap with the batteries. So that's going to be Universe fall. It's falling apart for Fnatic. 5-1, 5K lead at 11 minutes in.
It just feels like they're making a lot of desperate plays right now. You can sense it. Envy's trying to rotate wherever he can, but they're not even able to grab any sort of towers for themselves in return.
Yeah, those failed rotations from Envy have just really slowed down the pace that Fnatic wanted to play. Because now, he's got to find himself some sort of place on the map, but the levels ain't great for him. He's level 7 at the moment. It's the same as Zai on his clockwork on the other side. And CCNC, of course, walking around the map on his left track, looking incredibly scary. There's got a lot of burst, a lot of kill potential. The magical damage that OpTic Gaming have at this stage of the game is really quite something. And the pushing power is good as well with this Visage.
They're going to grab that last bounty rune. And with the mid tower and the bottom tower being taken, OpTic, they're free to play wherever they want. They don't even care about this top tower, really. Pycat's still up here, but I think relinquishing it is perfectly fine as long as they can grab a tier 2 tower in return, and that's exactly what they're going for here. As 33 already beating on this tier 2, and Fnatic once again, they're just too late to anything.
They're not coming down it. They're letting this tier 2 go. 12 minutes in, it's just objective after objective that OpTic Gaming are taking.
Look at this deep ward too. They see the movement from Envy the entire time through. And they're going to make the obvious play to try to go for this top tier 1 tower, but they're so afraid. They've taken so long that they're not sure if OpTic is defending it, and you see the hesitation right now. Fnatic not even willing to go for that gimme tower. OpTic.
We'll see if they can do something big with what Universe is preparing. I mean, he's, rather than going for sort of the Vanguard into Blink that we do more commonly see, he's just got the straight up Blink. So still pretty susceptible to dying, but at least they have sort of that jump initiation that could catch OpTic off guard.
This tier 2 tower, mid being pressured so heavily right now. OpTic, all the map control in the world. And Fnatic, once again, they don't even grab that top tower.
They're
This is going to be a trade for nothing.
They're losing so much. All of these towers are just going. And they still are yet to claim a tier 1 themselves. They will at least get the deny mid, but still this is just so much of the map that OpTic are taking control of and incredibly early as well.
It just makes it harder and harder for them to play this game because they can't get as deep of wards out. You notice the vision game alone is so staggering right now from OpTic. They see everywhere that Envy, whenever he tries to make a rotation with those ghosts,
Every movement.
they spot all of it, whereas their own wards are almost entirely just defensive. And this tier 1 tower top is the last thing that they get to defend. Not everyone from OpTic has shown up. Zai gonna get run into,
They do
Universe
have
with
the
the blink call.
And have they got the damage? The storm coming through, they'll take down Zai. Fnatic able to get a kill out of this, see if they can chase down for more. The majority of the team there was smoked up, so catching Zai off guard was relying on the fact that they had that deep wall vision, but I believe the smoke was done from the base, so they did manage to get that jump. Still, it is just a support. It's little for Fnatic, it's something, but it's still not going to solve the fact that they are 7k behind and OpTic are really ruling the map at the moment.
The worst part about this, Owen, is you feel really terrible transitioning this into nothing. You grab a kill, you don't grab the tower thereafter, you're still being spotted by the wards. OpTic is just going to make the same rotation. Zai is alive now. They're just going to go for the tower anyways, and it just nullifies that kill entirely as Pi gets eye-sharded. Fnatic want to take this fight. Universe stepping forward right now.
He's looking for a call, but at the same time on the side already, the cooldown, slowing down Envy. Envy will find that bounty win.
And they're pinging at bottom. They want to try to make a play on the CCNC. He pops the haste rune.
They're coming in from the shrine as well. Universe coming in from behind. He's going to look for the catch. CCNC.
Doesn't have a TP for 1 second. It's still in his stash. Universe gets the call.
Are they going to be able to get the rest of the team in range in time? Our bed's there. They're going to be able to find this one. So they do get CCNC. That's something at least there for Fnatic. They are starting to find these kills, but at the same time, top. Straight in onto Pylite Eye. He'll go for the self-disruption, but 33 holding on with the stuns on the burst. Doesn't even need them there as they punch down Pi after the disruption.
Very big kill for Fnatic, but it took the entire team rotating. And with this ward vision right here, they're going to spot them on the way back. This will allow them to hit the tier 2 tower for free. They see the mid wave. They just continue to get spotted. And with the double catapult.
I mean, I think the hope really for Fnatic is it's what Arbed can do once he gets his diffusal. At that point, there's going to be a significant damage spike for Fnatic. But at the same time, as the panel talked about, there's methods that OpTic have to deal with the PL. They've got this CCNC Listrak that's doing very well for himself.
Top tower,
Gets
another
the deny.
2Q.
At least their Universe, but indeed still, this is all tier 2s taken 16 minutes into the game, and Fnatic are still yet to take a tier 1 tower, and they're the team that have the Death Prophet.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight the best part about all of this, hold that thought, Gyrocopter.
See if they can bring him down. They're opening up straight away onto Pycat. They're coming in full force, and they should be able to take him, and they do, but Envy will fall for it. It's a 1-for-1. Can they get anything more? Universe trying to chase. 33 with the birds, just keeping Universe forced back. Fnatic, they just can't quite get past the Familiars to catch anything more out of them.
And CCNC just automatically goes bottom once again. What he's trying to do here is force somebody from Fnatic back, and they'll just immediately go into the Roshan pit. And that's why Fnatic right now, they're loath to go bottom. Even with the creep wave coming in, they need to protect this Roshan area. There's an early medallion on this Visage.
You see a hook shot there from Zai, finds DJ in, he goes with the Battery Assault.
Oh, might have just plucked him out.
I did, the shard sort of messed that up there. Bit of
Universe
misplay between the two of them. Now the chase is there in response. They've got the Demonic Purge onto Zai, and Zai's going to pay for that one, and PPD snowballed in there, does snowball himself across.
Abed, he wants to chase for this right now. PPD out of mana.
He's got the Diffusal Blade as well. He is going to have that slow back up in a couple of seconds. Spirit Lance is out, he's diving in onto PPD. Is anyone going to be coming over? There's a TP, but it's not going to be there in time. Universe in with the duck. Getting a second. They are getting these kills, Fnatic. They've got to do a lot more, but there is the potential. Arbed, we've seen him do it before on many a hero. He is on the PL. This is a hero that can just sort of carry an entire game on its back. And he is heading up there, second on the network. The Diffusal Blade was still there in good time. Once he has the hood, he's going to be feeling a little more confident fighting up against the Lestrak. A lot of the hopes of Fnatic resting on Arbed.
I think it got spotted. Envy should know about this. He's immediately backing all the way to his base, making the safe play. And even though his net worth is incredibly diminished, this is still a DP. All you
Still
really
the
need is a
skills.
Yules.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he has queued up. Not too far away from that as OpTic with a really deep smoke. But everyone from Fnatic right now just huddled in their base. Taking towards top right now as Pylai Die making his traditional rotation where...
Look at that. Look at that stat, Bill. The first game since TI5 that a team has taken 6 towers by the 16-minute mark.
Zai gonna run into Pylai Die here, who goes for the TP in.
See if Zai can get himself out. He's gonna get slowed by the ultimate. Pylai Die with the demonic purge. Buying time DJ to come in, but there's the hook shot out. Zai over to the familiars there. There's 33 provides him the backup to get himself out. At the same time, Arbed will be able to chase down PPD. So another kill for the Phantom Lancer. And as I said, honestly, I feel like we've seen this before. Arbed, he can carry games despite the fact that the start has been a bit of a disaster really for his team. And as we saw there in terms of map control and looking after the towers, a massive disaster for Fnatic. But Arbed, you gotta watch this kid. He can do something crazy.
Yeah, the one crazy upside of losing all your towers like this.
Look at this.
He's been everywhere.
He has. The movements here of Arbed, we saw obviously the sort of time he spent up top. We can sort of expect to see that heat map just continue to grow. As you can see as well from this, obviously he's been unable to really invade the half of the map of OpTic. All of the gameplay has really been happening on Fnatic's side.
Yeah, we're getting an opposite game of Pain versus VP, where both teams being very methodical. Not a lot of fights, but OpTic half postured heavily on this map. And the good news about losing your towers is when the creep wave comes in, you always have somebody that can farm it pretty safely. Zai gonna grab the DD, snatch it out of Abed's hands. And that's why you see Abed, briefly anyways, was at the top of the net worth chart, despite them not having more than one tower. And it's because they're giving him everything. Whatever creep wave comes forward, he's the one that's the direct beneficiary of it. Envy, meanwhile, is just left to kind of meander to his own devices, trying to farm out whatever neutral camps he gets.
Universe, what's he doing on his Crimson Guard? He's getting pretty close to it. That's obviously going to help the team out a huge amount against the Gyrocopter. And to be fair, if he's able to get that Crimson and Pipe before OpTic is sort of able to push up into the high ground, that is a lot of sort of damage mitigated that OpTic are going to be offering at this stage if they keep this pressure going. And OpTic themselves, BKB done on Pycat, they are very well prepared to run straight into Fnatic's lineup if they do find them out on the map. And Zai, he's already hunted. DJ just TP's out in time in the Fog of War. Got the scan there, they know Universe is out. Won't quite be able to get there in time.
Yeah, they're spotted by all this vision right now, and they know that PPD's down here. He's gonna try to go for the TP, Abed.
No way to cancel this, so PPD, he's out of there. PPD actually, I saw that, he was saving up a lot of money, so after the Brown Boots picking up a straight-up Blink Dagger on the Tusk.
Both teams benefiting heavily from their ward vision. Seeing the moves being made, OpTic continue to posture around this Roshan pit. You've taken all these tier 2 towers early, but haven't gone for the bigger objectives. And going high ground is still scary as Pi, gonna get spotted out by the birds.
Birds indeed starting to beat down upon Pi. They've got the slow from the Lightning. Pi will disrupt himself, but he's only setting it up for the stun from CCNC. Pylai Die caught out alone. The rest of Fnatic will be able to get themselves back to base with the time.
Looks like they're drawing the line around and in OpTic. There's no way they go for the high ground before going for Roshan.
Yeah. And in terms of fighting around the Rosh pit, obviously there's still things that OpTic do have to be aware of. Potential Axe Blink, the ultimate combo from the Elder Titan, and Fnatic, they are going to head over with this smoke.
You see Zai, he's positioned very aggressively right here. He wants to try to break these smokes. He's gonna run into the high ground here. Universe whiffs.
It's gonna miss. They have got the ghost out, and Zai, he'll melt pretty damn quickly. Can they get anything more out of this? No, because Pycat has heading over, they've got the cooldown. He will use himself up into the air, but he's already incredibly low. The punch up from PPD, that's Envy gone. Universe to fall as well. They've lost 2. Arbed, he's got the doppelganger up to the high ground. He'll go. Shards will slow him down a little bit, allowing 33 to get the slow off himself.
He's Grave Shield.
He's trying to rush himself away, turns towards CCNC, will be able to bring down the Leshrac. The stun coming through from the Elder Titan, but it's not enough to allow him the safety to get out of there. As OpTic Gaming take 3, secure the area around the pit, and can return to Roshan.
CCNC are ready up from the Bloodstone charges. They're just gonna walk back in, do the same thing. Zai, with those 4-man cogs on top of the hill, set up everything as DJ gonna get gone on by this Tusk.
PPD just making sure that DJ can't get anywhere near the pit, and there we have it. OpTic Gaming just continuing to to hold on to this strong advantage they have. Aegis in hand, 11-9, 23 minutes in, a pretty low kill game, but a very methodical one, as we've been saying, from OpTic Gaming. 7K lead. I mean, is there any sort of rush for OpTic as well? Do they need to try and force a high ground push anytime soon, or can they just afford to just sit back, control the map, and farm up the next couple of items?
I think they can just be pretty calm about this. Yeah. Because they are still killing the cores in these fights. If they hadn't killed Abed in that fight, and maybe if he gets away with 2 kills, I would speak differently, but they're still managing to shut down Abed for the most part. And Envy has just not been able to get anything. And you can't really blame him too much because they're giving Abed all the space on the map. Because the PL is the one that's going to win you the game, not the DP at this point.
Mid lane DJ, he's headed out. CCNC, he has got the combo. Zai there as well, throwing down the urn. They've got the damage. Another pick off for OpTic.
That might just prompt the high ground.
There's no out of time for 40 seconds. Let's see what OpTic want to do with this time. And again, it looks like just focusing on making sure that all lanes are in a good position. Fnatic, they've got Universe, we're shoving out the top lane. Just these little things to sort of slow the game down, make sure that the pace is there for Abed to continue to farm up on the PL. So we can sort of become this carry that Fnatic can present in the fights, that can have a chance against the cause. Indeed, he's out. He's alone, Zai. He's found him in the cogs. PPD's heading over as well. He'll use himself up by some time, but PPD comes in. He's got the snowball. He's holding on to it to allow time for the rest of OpTic to come in and finish off Envy. But as you say, I mean, this is Fnatic. They're just sort of throwing bodies everywhere to just distract OpTic away from Abed.
Yeah, this is buy Abed as much space as possible. Hope that the PL can be in a position right now to 1v5. And he just needs more time. That's what they need. But OpTic, with the Aegis, they've got the Aghanim Scepter on the Visage. They're not really waiting for any more items. They can find another pickoff. That might prompt the high ground.
See what they can find here. Pike, maybe the one to tank it as PPD. He's got the vision, closes the gap with the snowball, and another day in the office here for OpTic Gaming as they'll pick off another support. Pike, no escaping from this one. As again, just more murder and blood favoring OpTic. 90 for 4, they're still holding on to this lead. I see Fnatic at the moment just grouped up on the high ground, feeling very, very scared about leaving the base at this stage.
Yeah, and with all 3 lanes in a very good position, the Birds handling top, OpTic trying to spread Fnatic as thin as possible, keep them holed up in their base. A whole lot of options for them right now.
Only one buyback available as well on Fnatic. If they do end up finding themselves in an unfavorable fight, there'll definitely be the time and opportunity for OpTic to push on for more. Abed is coming out, CCNC. The timing here with the stun, yes he has, and already Zai going on the back line. Making sure that Ply and DJ can't get there in time to offer Abed the help. The shards blocking Abed out. He's trying to get himself around, but there's the punch into the homing missile. That's Abed gone. Pycat just rolling forward with the BKB, ripping through 2 of them, turning towards Envy, taking him down as well. They haven't got any buybacks. OpTic, they're onto the high ground. They're taking tier 3 towers. I mean, this game, it never really started for Fnatic.
This was incredibly one-sided.
Fnatic were just unable to do anything.
They made so many failed play attempts. They traded pretty much nothing ever. They weren't able to get any towers, even when OpTic were showing multiple heroes across the map. They never really went for objectives. They were so afraid at some point. OpTic had so much better vision.
I don't know what happened this game, but this is, I mean, Fnatic, they've looked pretty damn good in sort of the group stages and the previous performance, but this game, it just looks like OpTic are on an entirely different level.
Universe gonna get force-staffed out, just trying to kill the Birds. Get whatever you can.
2 sets of racks, 27 minutes in.
Yeah, and that stat was unbelievable. Fastest.
The towers, yeah. Since TI5. CCNC, he's got the Aegis. The last 30 seconds of it, so he does not mind if he goes down. Universe will jump in, get the call. They'll take the Aegis out of CCNC's hands, but as I say, it really doesn't matter at this stage. The ult comes out from TJ, but it's just not enough damage. Zai chasing down Universe to fall. He's gonna buy back, but they've lost DJ, they've lost Pilot Eye, neither with buyback available. Zai hook shots across. Abed, he'll try and doppelganger himself away, but there's 3 dead. He's actually gonna DC from the game. He's out. GG is called. Game 1, I don't think OpTic could believe it themselves, probably. That must have felt so damn smooth for OpTic Gaming.
Look at the faces right now from Fnatic. They just look stunned. They have no idea what happened.
What happened?
That was genuinely that was so one-sided for a semifinal game. They weren't able to get anything going. You saw Envy consistently trying to make those rotations.
Nothing
It got blocked every single time.
I mean, that here in the semi-finals, Fnatic, they've got a lot of talking to do between game 1 and game 2. I mean, for you, looking at that game, what do you think the biggest issue was for Fnatic? Was it their draft? Was it just sort of the early misplays? Was it understandable that those sort of early failed rotations would punish them as bad as this was? Or do you think there was a chance for them to still come back this game?
I think there might have been chances, but it felt like they were just lethargic. They were afraid to make any moves. Even when they were losing their tier 1 tower mid, they weren't even willing to really go for that tier 1 tower up at top. They weren't willing to make any trades because they were so afraid that OpTic was everywhere on the map.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see what happens in the rest of this series, but game 1, OpTic Gaming having a very, very simple and easy victory as they made it look here as they take the lead 1-0 against Fnatic in the semi-finals.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Owen. We're back with our panel members once more to break down a very, very good victory for OpTic Gaming, back with Nahaz, Fogged, and Capitalist. Alan, that's an impressive display from OpTic. I guess a couple of days off does help.
I guess so. I mean, that game got out of Fnatic's hands in a hurry. 4 towers taken between the 11 and 14-minute marks on the side of OpTic. We talked about during the draft, when you leave that Visages lane, when you leave that Leshrax lane, they are going to punish you. And we saw a couple of missed early game rotations on the side of Fnatic, and you start hemorrhaging towers.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't come up with the other tower stat, which was 6 towers down before 16 minutes.
Fastest since TI5.
It's like 17,900 and something, I think. I mean, that's insane.
They just had no answer whatsoever to the Visage Familiars pushing, right?
Yeah.
They just, like, out of all their initiation, they may have this Axe who eventually got his Blink Dagger, but they don't want to just jump on Familiars and then have the rest of OpTic Gaming come forward and try and punish you. So it was very difficult to be able to stop these pushes. They need to be able to put pressure on some of the other side lanes, but we again talked about that super early. The only hero that they have to be able to push out the waves is, like, Death Prophet's not the greatest, and you could see it from Eternal Envy. He tried to fulfill that role. Of course, a Death Prophet dying over and over again to be able to push out waves is never going to be a good sign. So I personally would say that the biggest thing about this game was there was still an opportunity for Fnatic to win this, even if it did turn into a core Leshrac, and that was all in the back of Axe. DJ shut that down entirely, not just in the lane, but also outside of lane. Twice he ganked this poor Axe just before he could get his Blink Dagger, and that completely stops the timings of Fnatic.
Zai, right?
Zai.
Excuse me,
Yeah, on the
Zai,
clock.
sorry.
Right.
Yeah, no, I actually just think that OpTic looked incredibly prepared for this. They had their wards down. They kind of predicted the rotations coming out from Fnatic. So the first few they tried to make, they didn't work. And then just like Will was saying, after that, they were like, what do we actually do from here? And I think I'm glad you pointed out the 2 deaths on the Axe. I think that actually just completely shut down what they're trying to go for, because Universe was like, I want to rush this Blink this time, right? Yep. He didn't end up getting it. Those 2 deaths were extremely painful.
Well, it was an issue that I flagged during one of the OG drafts yesterday, that they had DJ on the Elder Titan, and it's one of those heroes that it's a great counter initiator. It's not necessarily a great primary initiator. And when Axe's Blink Dagger is shut down, all of a sudden your playmaker in DJ has no way to consistently get his spell combo off in these fights.
And they had such a great dual lane for the Axe, right? Where they had this Shadow Demon disruption. You disrupt the enemy carry, the Gyrocopter, you aggro onto one of these heroes to get the creeps to go onto you as the Axe. You position yourself on top of the Gyrocopter. Yeah. You've got a wave on top of you, the range creep hitting you on a call. That should be, if not a kill, at least a lot of damage to the Gyro and force him out of lane. But again, Zai came in and was just able to play the Clockwork Cogs beautifully. A couple times, they went for that one disruption play. He managed to get the Cogs onto the Axe, pulling him away from him. Battle Hunger completely whiffed. And then after that, he just kept burning the Axe to make sure he couldn't make that kind of play again.
I want to talk to all 3 of you a number of points here, so it's a multi-faceted question, if you like. At the end of the game, we saw pictures of Fnatic on stage. They looked very dejected, very kind of like, what just happened? Secondly, lots of mistakes in that game from them, which is unusual considering they've been playing pretty error-free throughout the rest of the tournament. And thirdly, they seem to be playing scared.
I think it's just like they got to that point where they were like, we need these rotations to work, and it didn't work, and then they kind of seemed lost in the way. they didn't know what to really do.
And
But
I would
it's
feel
it's left them with a lot of questions now in the gap. I mean, Owen said it, before we came back to the panel. What do they talk about now in this gap?
You can't play Dota 6 towers down at 16 minutes. I think this is one of those games that, yes, Fnatic looked really bad. They looked overwhelmed, but they were against a lineup that was going to snowball against them if certain conditions were met. I think they needed more wave clear. They needed DJ on a stable primary initiator. I would have liked to see a Darkseer instead of that Axe. I think this is fixable for Fnatic.
Yeah. If it's fixable, then what are they talking about backstage?
See, that's where I'm going to disagree, because I would feel very dejected as Fnatic, because you just look at the drafting phase from OpTic. This is a very different kind of banning pool. We didn't ban just strong heroes. We identified all of Fnatic's heroes, right? And so you're left with very little at that point from Fnatic. And then you just lost with that. So what's left, Alan? Like, if you can't, if you don't get your Warlock, you don't get your Sand King, you don't get your Undying, the Elder Titan didn't work for you, neither did the Shadow Demon. Like, there are not a whole lot of Fnatic heroes that we have history on that they can actually play anymore if they don't run the same kind of lineup.
Like
that they
DJ
have
has, I mean, yes, DJ's hero pool has been condensed in the last couple of months, but he's got one of the better 4-position hero pools in the game. He still can play the Tusk. They've had him on the Shadow Shaman in the past. They've had him on the Disruptor in the past, get a fast Axe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there aren't too many primary initiators left in the pool for him, but I think there are solutions here. It's just maybe go away from what you've been doing in the recent past.
I'm going to cut you off there. I know, Fog, you want to try and play some sort of referee between these two, just as they're starting to get feisty. But we need to take a break and pay some bills. When we come back, we'll let these three carry on going at it, and we'll also let Fnatic see if they can get back into this tournament, because right now they're facing elimination to OpTic Gaming in our semi-final. We'll see you soon.
Inside, he'll melt pretty damn quickly. Can they get anything more out of this? No, because Pycat has CC's heading over. They've got the cooldown. He will use himself up into the air, but he's already incredibly low. The punch up from PPD, that's MB gone. Universe to fall as well. They've lost two, Abed. The doppelganger up to the high ground, he'll go. Shards will slow him down a little bit, allowing 33 to get the slow off himself.
His Grave Shield.
He's trying to rush himself away, turns towards CCNC, will be able to bring down the left track. The stun coming through from the other side.
I want to get in there.
Wow.
Are you dead?
Yeah,